Welcome back, Pacers. I'm Caitlin Richards.
I'm Alex Garrison.
I'm Will Dalton.
Andre Tidwell.
Marvin Brunton.
And this is Peace Talks. Tuesday, October 30th, there's a flute clinic from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Main Parlor. MSA interest meeting will be held from 5 to 6 p.m. in Pacer Hub Student Commons, and Promise of Peace Bible Study will be held from 7:30 to 8:30 p.m. in Flow 217. Wednesday, October 31st, there will be a Halloween bash at Belk from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. There will also be a showing of The Nun from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Main Lawn.
On Thursday, November 1st, 2018, there will be an internship information session from 12 to 1 p.m. in Main 14. There will also be a Lunch and Learn with Wellness, 10 Things I Learned from Diet Culture, from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. in Main Parlor. Go online to sign up. There will also be a movie night with Men of Peace at 5:30 p.m. from the V shuttle stop. Dia de los Muertos celebration will also take place from 7:30 to 9:30 p.m. in Main Parlor and Main Patio. DECA interest meeting will be held from 8:30 to 10 p.m. in Flow 110. On Friday, November 2nd is Fall Cocktail from 8 to 11 p.m. in Main Parlor. Info is on the website.
And welcome back to your favorite sports report. You can hold the applause, I know. So, a lot to talk about in Peace Sports this week. Over the weekend, William Peace men's soccer team, they finished up their season and they're now entering their first ever USA South tournament. They finished the year with a record of 8-4-5, and they will now enter the tournament as the 3 seed. They will play North Carolina Wesleyan on Tuesday at 3 p.m. in Rocky Mount. Also going on in William Peace Sports, the volleyball team over the weekend swept both Greensboro College and Methodist to become co-regular season champions for the first time in the program's history. Peace will now host the first round of the USA South Tournament on Tuesday at 7 p.m. So now in sports outside of Peace, last night in the MLB, the Red Sox beat the Dodgers to win their 9th World Series championship in franchise history. It is also, for the Dodgers, it's their second straight year of losing in the World Series because last year they lost to the Houston Astros. In the NFL, today the Browns fired their head coach Hugh Jackson and their offensive coordinator Todd Haley after a total record of 3-36-1 over the last 3 years. Also in the NFL, the Rams are remaining a dominant 8-0 after beating the Packers this week, and the Panthers are now 5-2, and they're a serious contender in the NFC after beating the Ravens this week 36-21. They will take on the Buccaneers in a divisional matchup, and the Buccaneers will actually make another change at quarterback as they go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick, who they started the year with, and then they switched to Jameis Winston, and now they're going back to Fitzpatrick. Jameis Winston had 4 interceptions yesterday, so that could have something to do with it.
Crab legs, man.
Crab legs. And finally, in the NBA, the Cavs fired head coach Ty Lue after an 0-6 start this season. It is the worst start to a season for a team that just went to the finals last year in league history.
LeBron.
They went to the finals the last 3 years that he was the coach. Of course, a big part of that was having LeBron James on the team. But, after he departed for the Lakers, it's not looking to be a good start for them this year. Speaking of LeBron James and the GOAT conversation, Michael Jordan actually was in a commercial yesterday that was aired by NBC. It was an advertisement for the Sunday night football matchup between the Patriots and the Packers next week, which is also considered the 2 best quarterbacks in the league, maybe ever, in Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. And it was the whole debate about, let's decide who the GOAT is, just go one-on-one. And so it was also kind of pointing at everybody talking about LeBron James and Michael Jordan should play one-on-one to decide who the GOAT is. And oddly enough, LeBron actually tweeted out very jokingly, or maybe not so jokingly, he said that I'm ready. So that's all for sports this week, and we'll catch you next week.
Michael Jordan's already admitted LeBron is the GOAT, though.
Sadly, over the weekend, 11 people have died in a synagogue shooting. Apparently, the suspect was armed with an AR-15 assault rifle and at least 3 handguns. And also, he put out anti-Semitic slurs against the people he was shooting against. Now, there's also something in the news that happened. A dude was sending out pipe bombs to the president, former president, former President Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and a few other people. Now, the president didn't come out and say he was against this person, but however, didn't really say he was supporting them. Now, in society now, it's a lot of death going on that you see but don't see. So it's every time you turn on the TV, something sad or bad happened, and you may think it's really good, or it ain't good, or maybe badder than you think it is, or gooder than you think it is. Now, what do y'all think about all the death that's going on around the country?
Well, it's never a good thing.
True.
I don't know.
It's not a good thing at all.
To be honest with you, I don't even know at this point.
I mean, the real question is, what can you do about it?
But something needs to happen quick.
Yeah,
Because it's
like-
happening more and more. I think I read the other day in the news that this was the 200 and something shooting in this year. And that's, like, not acceptable.
No.
Now, this kind of goes back to that gun control debate that keeps getting brought up in politics and around the country and world even. People have a thing about, oh, I want to keep my guns, and then other people say, let's take away all guns. Do y'all think it's a happy medium for the gun scenario?
Bro, it's never. I don't know, man.
I think just because it's like politics, nobody is going to be happy. Like, you're always going to have somebody who's upset about something. But there should definitely be gun control. So, like, things like this wouldn't be, like, you wouldn't hear of it more often. It wouldn't be as easy to just go buy a gun at a grocery store. It's like, hey, I need to go get my groceries, let me get a gun too. Like, that shouldn't be how it is.
Yeah. It seems like that the things that are supposed to be horrible for you are the easiest access to. But the things you need, it's like super hard to get access to. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're trying to go to college, you got to be in debt for almost the rest of your life afterwards. But say you want to rob somebody, grab a gun, or get a cigarette, all you got to do is go right to the store. Mm-hmm. You can go to Walmart, buy a gun and a pack of cigarettes. So,
I know, just comparing it to my siblings, their spouses, they live in England, and they said that they would never move to America just because of the gun issue, just because they, like, don't deal with that. They didn't even know, like, school shootings happen, and that freaks them out. So just gun control as it is, like, with them being scared to move to America, that's kind of sad.
That's crazy, though. I can't, like... Dang, that's like a big gap. I can't even picture, like, you know, a place not having school shootings. Like, you just saying that's, like, that's crazy. So
They thought it was crazy. Like, we were riding behind somebody who had just bought a gun from the grocery store, and they had it, like, sticking, like, in the back window of their car.
Yeah.
And they did not even
They
know
were
what to
like-
think. No, they had no clue.
That's crazy. It must be nice, you know?
that's culture. No, seriously, that's
It is, though.
their
Yeah.
culture that we think because since we live here, everybody else is like us. It's not it at all. Other countries and other people around the world don't have the experiences we do.
Exactly.
They may not have the freedom we do, but they don't have the same problems that we do either. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of a double-edged sword in that way.
Going back to, like, the politics in America, though, I think more people should just be aware about it. Instead of shutting off the news when something bad or sad happens, they should kind of turn that into letting your voice be heard in situations like this and grieve with the people that are going through this sad situation, but then also try to do something that would help the situation in return.
Yeah, but see, a lot of people may not know how to get their voice to be heard, or tired of the fact that it's not getting heard, so they'd rather do something else than watch the news. They'll see somebody on the news be crying about somebody that say they were such a good boy, I couldn't think they would shoot up the school. When they, like in our community, that happens we don't get pictured the same way. So it's kind of like, you look on the TV, you see people getting misrepresented every day, every time. At one point, you're going to stop caring and doing something about it, or stop caring and do nothing about it.
But even if you do one thing rather than nothing, it's still a step forward.
That's facts.
It's a step forward to some people. Other people see it as we're still stuck in the same place we was. We're making a baby steps, we're plateaued. It's like it's a plateau when we really want to get what we need. It's always a plateau when it comes to that. So nobody wants to. Those people that think the plateau was always going to be there, is always say, "What's the point?"
Yeah, it's like I don't even care no more. It's no, it's not affecting me. Pretty much, they thought.
Which I think this is a good transition into midterm elections. They're coming up. November 6th is the date to vote, but early voting is going on right now. So if you don't like how the way America is right now, go out and try to vote the opposite, but do your research, know your values, know who you're voting for. Vote Republican if you like how things are right now. Vote Democrat if you would like to change it. But as long as you have your values in mind and you actually go to the polls and vote, that's what's important.
And people, as the younger demographic, our age, we need to be out there too. Much as we don't like what's going on and we can see through the BS that's happening, we need to get out there too and do something. Because these amendments in your states, not even just where you, like I said, North Carolina, South Carolina, New York, state, that stuff actually affects you. The actual election may not think it affects you in at least after the voting, but the stuff that's going on in the state, in your state, those amendments, those affect you. So people need to come out and vote. As much as we don't like it, we need to go out and vote.
And this year, for 2018, for the midterm elections, it's expected to be the largest millennial voter turnout. So it's really important for people our age to actually go to the polls and vote.
And also, we got to get informed too. Don't just vote for no reason.
Yeah.
Actually be informed.
Mm-hmm.
Know why you're voting. Like,
Don't just circle a name.
yeah.
We don't need no more Hennies on the ballot.
You know, realize your vote matters, it counts, but also know why you're doing it, not just to say you did it.
And what you're voting for.
Yeah.
For college students who may not be registered, you can register at the polls and vote at the same time. This coming up Wednesday is Halloween. Everybody stay safe. What are you guys doing for Halloween?
I'm dressed up as Chucky. I got a jumpsuit and all, so I'm coming to school. I don't be in traffic with my Chucky outfit on. So you see Chucky, that's me.
I don't know what I'm doing yet, but probably going out. Probably making a DIY costume. That's what I always do. It's the
You're
easiest,
making a
cheapest
what
way.
costume?
It's like doing your
DIY.
own.
Do your own costume.
Oh, okay.
Make it yourself.
Pinterest
Cheaper.
has a lot of good ideas.
They do have a lot of good ideas, and it's cheaper.
Should have won this Deadpool.
I'm just going to slap on a good Spider-Man suit. That's what I'm doing. Your friendly neighborhood.
You should have
Spider-Man
told me. I would have got Deadpool if you were going
Uh-huh.
Spider-Man.
We could have had a dynamic
Slap on
duo.
I
that.
swear.
So I'm gonna wear all black and be a black hole for Halloween.
A black hole.
So y'all want to get sucked into nothingness? Come holler at me.
A black hole.
Black hole.
It's kind of depressing. You think we get sucked into nothing? It's kind of depressing.
Black hole, man.
And if you're out trick-or-treating and you see a suspicious white van hanging around, I would not approach it. Or else. you
Also,
might be
don't
able-
approach clowns.
You can approach Chucky though.
No.
We will have
I'm
our
your friend.
costumes taken pictures of, and we will post them Thursday. So go to social media accounts to see what we dressed up as.
Shout out to all the black holes.
What should he black holes? I'm weak. I cannot, bro.
And
Like
y'all,
shot pulls all the kids out there.
and y'all have a good one. See y'all next week.
All right.